Well, my son was only 6 years old when he came and said to me, "I want to play Gaelic football, Dad." Well, I was as proud as a dad could be. I brought him down to the pitch that Saturday. I knew the coach's name was John. I hung around to watch for a while and just to see how he'd get on. After the session was over, John he came over and said to me, "Would you be interested in the game tomorrow? Togging out for the junior Bs. We're playing in the first round of the championship against our old rivals Gweedore." Well, the adrenaline started flowing in me. It was an offer I could not ignore. A chance to realise my full potential, to pull the jersey on once again, even though I was now 46 years old. I'm sure the game was more or less the same. Well, my son and I travelled home that morning, both smiling and very keen. There was now 2 footballers in the family with only 40 years in between. We agreed not to tell his mother. That would be the best thing to do. I smiled at him and he winked at me and I said, "I understand, Dad, 'cause Mammy would probably want to play too." That night before the game, I went to bed at 8:30. Oh, a man would need a good night's sleeping to be well rested and in good shape. The wife, she decided to join me. Got the wrong message altogether. I politely declined her advances and said I was feeling a little bit under the weather. I had a headache. The next day I arrived at the pitch at 2:30. I was the first man to get togged out. The other players arrived in their dribs and drabs and we started kicking the ball about. Some of them were minors and there was a few 20-year-olds in the mix. 5 of them were in their 30s, but there was only one aged 46. John, the coach, he arrived at 3 and no one was too bothered. He started handing out the jerseys and he says to me, "You're starting in at full forward." Well, Michael Murphy, Kieran Donaghy, Aidan O'Shea, all full forwards just like me, the man to lead the line in the first round of the championship junior Bs. Stand up at the edge of the small square was the strategic instructions given to me. Lay the ball off to the inside forwards. My job that would be. The team ran out onto the pitch. The crowd let out a mighty roar. There was about 9 of them in the crowd. By the time I got into position, I was out of breath and wasn't able for anything more. The fullback who was marking me was a minor on the way up. He had a running style like a bloody greyhound. Mine was more like Donald Duck. The next thing the fight broke out and I looked for assistance from the referee. He smiled and he waved over and he says, "You're very welcome to the junior Bs." The ref finally threw on the ball and Gweedore, they started very strong. We looked for guidance from the sideline, but sure, they hadn't a clue what was going on. At half-time we were well behind and the game just wasn't going to plan. John, he was panicking and said we were playing more like a volleyball team from Afghanistan. Listen, I didn't touch the ball for most of the game. My marker had far too much class. I stood up at the edge of the small square, just confused and scratching me head until the last 5 minutes. The ball came high into the square. This was my chance of glory and to show a bit of flair. I caught the ball and passed to me corner forward and he passed it back to me. I started sprinting towards the goal, my chance to be the star for the junior Bs. With all the excitement I closed both my eyes. I was full of passion and desire, but forgot that the small square was only 5 yards long and ran straight in and knocked over the umpire. "Get off me, you bloody idiot! Send him off, ref number 14. I opened my eyes and asked him politely, "Do you want the white flag or do you want the green?" Well, I stood up and turned around, not realising the ball was still in my hands. And 2 Gweedore defenders jumped on me and the lights went out and I thought I was off to the promised land. Well, I woke up on the sideline 10 minutes later with a bag of frozen peas on me head. I was aching all over and just relieved that I wasn't dead. The ref, he blew the final whistle. Oh, I was as happy as could be. Gweedore went through to the next round of the championship on a score of on a score of 2 points to 623. Well, I lay at home that evening with a hot water bottle and a warm cup of Barry's tea, and I realised my playing days were over after one game with a junior B.